Welcome back, guys. My name is Harrison. We are back for a friendly best of 5 today between Soldier and Samwise12. We are currently observing Soldier right now. He is playing as the Chinese civilization spawning into the right hand side of the map. On the map Korea, I believe, the old Adirondacks in the colour blue. His opponent, Samwise12. What else is he going to play? You guessed it, he's playing the French civilization, his favourite civ, the civ he's known to be the strongest with, throwing down an early train post straight away. Looking at Soldier here, 2 Black Panthers guarding 75 food, a nice opening treasure here. You can see he's currently chopping wood to get down his first village, opened up with an opening TP. The macro is a little bit tight, but queuing up another villager, he may move a few villas onto wood just to ensure that wood is collected. Checking over to Samwise12. 3 CDB already in queue. What time is it? 1 minute 15 that shipment sent. That's just the power of the early TP. Looking now on 75 food. And Soldier, he's prowling. He's nearby. He's seen this treasure. It's under contention from Samwise. At the moment, Samwise, he hasn't got a Scooby-Doo clue. Soldier there, he does see it now. Soldier with the ranged stun ability could pick up some damage here. Disciple actually goes for the kill, but maybe Soldier wasn't anticipating the Disciple picking up the Panther there. Does get the snare off on the French Explorer though. Disciple actually doesn't really want to block the path here. It's a nice way to get some extra damage on top of the Explorer, but pathing issues. It just makes it a little bit awkward, and yeah, Native Scout there has broken the snare from Soldier, and Samwise Explorer is going to go back to the town centre nice and safely. 3 CDBs do come in. Deers are nicely pushed underneath the under the town centre, looking to go for a 13 CDB age up. Decent from Samwise. He has he obviously picked up that 75 food treasure. Soldier as well got that 75 food near his training post in this position here. So both players having some food treasures age 1. Villagers come down, Goat is on top of the village, but you can see just the difference in age 1 at age up time and advancing. Soldier's only got 300 food, still training villagers, but Samwise, he's clicking up now, he's up, he's going to move on. The early TP, earlier shipments, and the momentum so far is with Samwise and the French. Let's have a look at Soldier. What is he up to? He's working on an 85 wood treasure. The times I've played on Korea, I usually think there's 3 big wood treasures. There's one being taken. Samwise has just taken 85 wood for himself, and he's going to come across a 90 wood treasure guarded by 2 lions. Now, picking up a wood treasure is always fun. It always makes you feel good about yourself. Like, yes, I've got this great treasure, but 3 OP treasures on a map, which is on a quite small map. Does feel a little bit much there, but one of the wood treasures already down for Samwise. He's throwing down a market quite far from the town centre, but I don't think the French players will be very worried about age 2 aggression from China. Hunting dogs coming in, I'm sure he's going to get place of mines and then the wood for steel traps. So steel traps and place of mines looking to reach 200 wood, but that 200 wood could also mean a military building being thrown down on the age up to CDB do move forwards. Let's have a look and see what Soldier's up to. 1 shipment's stacked up. Having a look at his deck. Appears to be a very standard deck. Does not have Colonial Militia in his deck. Does not have the, the Boxer Rebellion card, as it's known as the Chinese, to boost town centre attack. Does have Chu Canoe, Chang Pikemen, and Steppe Riders at his disposal. A Consulate bonus, the 300 export also help, and the Rattan Shields at age 3 and age 4. Look to be very standard decks. I think age 3 that's my standard deck as well. Triple upgrades. And we'll play on from there. Sam up to the next age, instantly throwing down a barracks in front of Soldier's base. Soldier won't be able to see it just yet. He hasn't got a clue at the moment, but he does actually see the dead deer, and I think Samwise, this is a mistake from Samwise. You know, if you want to try and hide a forward building, you chop the wood, you mine the coin, you do something which doesn't involve disrupting the natural wildlife of the deers here. And Soldier, he hasn't scouted it. Okay, he has now. Did Samwise think about throwing down a second barracks and then deleting it? Soldier may have seen that rubble, and maybe he just feels that something is up at the moment. Sam would do very well not to lure the Chinese explorer towards the barracks. I've just realised there's music on. I don't want music on at the moment. Let's turn the music down. It is very nice music. Music. That shouldn't be playing while I'm casting, but this is a recorded game, so I guess that's where it's come from. Okay, 5 pikemen, opening gambit here from Samwise, expecting musketeers really, but the pikemen would put pressure on soldiers' trading post at the moment. I've just realised, I've got friend or foe colours on. My apologies. Oh F. There you go. Soldier in the teal, Samwise in the... Yeah, so from now on, soldiers in the teal, Samwise is in the red. That's another thing I didn't realise. But Samwise, another 5 pikes coming out. 10 pikemen in total. 4 CDBs going from behind. Looking at Samwise's deck, his build order, 3 CDB, 700 wood, 4 CDB now. So the 700 wood funding just a single racks at the moment. A couple of houses, but I suppose you can't really afford multiple military buildings if you're spending 200 wood per batch of 5 pikemen and crossbows. Chinese monk, Wang Lang being picked off here by the pikeman. Pikeman sieging the trading post. And soldier, defensive war academy here. Could still go for the... Well, could have still gone for the fast fortress, but defensive war academy usually makes sense if soldier is planning to send 700 wood at some point. He's already sent the 700 wood, and that's been on the floor, gathering it up, funding old hand production. 8 Chukunu is the reinforcement shipment number 2. So Samwise's aggression here so far in this game, forcing soldier to stay in the second age. Who is cast? It's myself, Harrison. Shame that I'm not an actual player in the game where it says my name underneath the other players of Soldier and Samwise. I suppose if you join in halfway through, it may be a bit confusing, but if you watch enough eSoc streams, I'm sure you'll come to recognise this voice. I said recognise because in my head I was like, right, I'm about to say the word voice afterwards, and I completely messed that one up, but all part of the fun, and we continue this game. Soldier sending 9 Chang pikemen behind this, another old hand army being trained, and the old hand from the Summer Palace soon about to pop, so that'll be an extra about 450 worth of military resources now gained from that wonder, and I think will be soldiers looking to move forward. If you're sending 2 military shipments back to back, usually it's a good time to push afterwards, otherwise, well, you just burn in daylight sat in your base. Couple crossbowmen from Samwise, pikemen. Samwise still doing bow pike, but I do see the stable there. 2 hussars in queue. He has 1,000 coin behind us. Did he send 700 coin? He has sent 700 coin, but he's not looking to age. He's trying to mass, but now changing to hussar, musketeer. He needs to move these CDBs onto hunt. He's got a nice big hunt behind him. Is he? I don't know if he's trying to think about trying to move up to the next stage. He's now seen all his armies. He's popping hussars. Got a shipment ready to go. Is he going to send 8 bows here? Maybe 3 huss and try and take this fight? Soldier is looking to siege that racks down. The hussars coming from behind. Pikeman moving forward. Hussars pulling back at this moment. Pikeman wanting to engage the Chang pikeman. Chang pikeman in cover mode at the moment, going back to regular attack onto the barracks. Shukanu's moving forward. These guys do massive amounts of damage versus the heavy infantry. The pikeman. Soldiers doing very well to keep them back. Musketeers come out, but they're going to get focused down very quickly by the Chukanu. But it's actually the Chang pikeman Soldier needs to worry about. Once he loses these pikemen, there'll be no cover available for the Chukanus. Samwise sending 3 hussars at the moment. Another big batch of hussars likely to be queued up. Does have 12 villagers on the food, and if he needs more reinforcements, he can just buy that food. Chang pikeman looking to be in low numbers here from Samwise, but he's just holding back his cavalry for the time being, waiting for a big reinforcing batch. He's got the housing population for more military units, and he's going to go for a timing push on likely to be 10 hussars, 5 from the stable, and 3 from the shipments, 2 remaining. Quickly checking over the soldier. Soldier is sending the 7 steppy riders in anticipation of additional cavalry from Samwise. Step riders not the greatest versus hussars, but at least they can body block and just provide a couple of extra tanking units. But there's the hussars. But the bowman from Samwise has been focusing down the Chang pikeman for all this time. Soldier's anti-cavalry at this point is looking pretty non-existent, and we still have 5 cavalry on the floor from Samwise. These hussars are going to go straight onto the Chukanus. Chukanus have a negative multiplier versus cavalry. The hussars having a range resist. The Chukanu are just tickling the hussars at the moment, not actually doing enough damage here. Here comes some step riders in hand combat versus hussars. They're pretty pitiful. and soldiers on the back foot. Minutemen are Minutemen being called at this moment. He is calling pike sentries at the moment. So some Minutemen, pikemen are able to defend, but the paraffin around the War Academy. Oh no! Is he trying to protect his Step Riders, or is he trying to protect his Chukanus? The Chukanus all gone down, and actually not having Chukanus any available now in an H2 fight versus Sam is pretty brutal. Steps get pinned down by the Hussars. They try and trade off versus the crossbowmen. Sentries on top of these couple of Hussars, but 2 more Hussars will re-pick off the Explorer for another 90 XP, and it's not too bad for Samwise here. He is out of military units in Soldier's base, but I think Samwise has the eco behind this to go to the next stage if he wanted to. Soldier being forced to train a Ming army behind this, the anti-cavalry army, which is decent, but it's not giving you those Chukanus which you really need to form a mass. I don't think Soldier is ever going to form another mass of Chukanu behind this ever again. Alright, back to Samwise. What's Samwise doing? He's stacking shipments. Maybe it's the UI bugging him once more, but he's sending 700 food into 600 coin. He can mass off the 600 coin. I think that's his intention, is actually to jump to the Fortress Age at this point. More villagers on coin suggests he may want to continue production. Hussar Musketeer still in queue. I think Sam's at that junction where he can decide to jump to the Fortress Age if he wants to. He can cancel the batches. He does not have to complete the batches, but he's decided to complete the Musketeer batch, another Musk in queue, and actually by completing that batch, I think he's going to complete the Hussars and go for another 5 Hussar, 5 Musket timing. Native Scout as well from Samwise. Is he? Ooh, pardon me. Excuse me. I hit the fast forward button there instead of the view lock. You get used to that. A couple Keshiks being seen from Soldier. Soldier sees some more Chukanu. He doesn't have all his Hussars here, but realistically, he would like to link up with the heavy infantry. Still only massing from 1 barracks at the moment, but does have a nice mass of Musketeers. And at this point, he's 60 out of 60. He needs more housing population. Even the best struggle with housing population. I would like to see what the buying rate is at the moment, but it looks like he's going to sell off excess food here and age up behind to the Fortress Age. But this is quite nice from Samwise. Soldier is continuously training units at the moment. Soldier believes that Samwise is age 2 aggression all in at this point. Going to be staying into the second age. But a nice pop of units of old hand from the War Academy. Sam couldn't really scout that, but pikemen pinning down the Hussars. Keshiks from behind. These Hussars actually stuck deep inside the Chinese territory. Pikemen are going to cut off their escape. Keshik's Step Riders still snaring Hussars. Sam may want to try and split these off, but at the very least, Sam is buying himself time to jump to the Fortress Age. He is up, going to exile Prince. 1 Musketeer in queue. I don't really think he's going to complete that batch. He is actually going to get all 5 out. His heavy infantry is safely forming up a group, and massive Musketeers from France does suggest maybe early Falconets in the 3rd Age. Let's have a look at Sam's deck in the 3rd Age. 1 Frigate is a standout card here. He does have triple crate shipments. I don't often see French players with the 1000 food. No 7 skirm. Does have skirm attack. What's he missing? He doesn't have the 10 Jaeger shipment. I like the 10 Jaegers as France here. I want to say he's missing another big shipment, but I think it's just 7 skirms is what we're used to seeing, but it's not quite there. 1 racks down, skirmisher in queue. May wants to think about upgrading his musketeers. In total, he's got 16, and that is quite enough justification to invest 400 resources for the 20% upgrade to HP and attack that they get. And especially when you're sending falconets, that's a really good investment to protect those artillery pieces. You've got heavy infantry covering the falconets. The falconets will rip through the pikemen, Chukanu. The musketeers are going to do very well versus the Step Riders and Keshiks. And Soldier coming for a little bit of raid, deciding to back out. Yeah, let's look at Soldier. Soldier's massing. Always red coats. Up close, this game does look beautiful. Chukanus. They got pie charts on their head. What's this? They're 80% completed. Oh no, it's just the back of their head. It's quite funny. I'll tell you what I've noticed is the Ashigarus from the Japanese civilization. They when they go into hand combat, they change out their rifle for massive pikes. It's like where's the store these pikes from behind? And didn't they usually have bayonets on the Ashes in the first game? But official changes, I'm sure that relates to some sort of Japanese weapon that the infantry used to carry. 3 Cuirassiers going to pin down the Keshiks and Steppe Riders, and these are all colonial units. They are very weak versus heavy cavalry of France in the Third Age. Just going to get ripped to shreds. The infantry moving forward. The Falconets are unscouted yet from Soldier. He hasn't got a clue where they are. They're on their way, and Samwise is in for a good time. And yeah, Soldier's agent up behind, agent up the Confucian Academy, skirmishers, and eventually the artillery pieces, but I'm not too sure the artillery piece will get out in time for this. Nice bit of a raid in here. Musketeers picking off the villagers already. The Explorer's coming in, but doesn't want to lose that before he gets the age up. The Third Age Explorer is so strong, but here come the Falconets. Soldier does see them now. They're unpacking, and this is where the action is going to happen. Let's quickly look at Samwise reinforcements. Samwise, he's only sent the Falconets, hasn't sent another shipment just yet, but he's trained a big batch of 4 Cuirassiers. 1 skirmisher. Is that a counter push from Soldier? Is he going to try and take down the military buildings and buy time? Arquebusiers, top side. This infantry mass is growing from Soldier. Look at Soldier, he must be sending a shipment now. Has he not got a shipment? Oh, he's actually housed, so he's not sending a shipment, but when you look at this, it doesn't tell you between the difference between sent and not sent, just because he's housed at the moment. So hopefully Soldier can help me out and get some population. Maybe a big fight will, and he deletes half his army, will also help that option as well. Wang Lang moving in, taking a bit of fire from the Musketeers. Falconets somewhat unprotected, but the cavalry's moving back. Musketeers going to go straight on top of the Falconets. The closer they can keep Falconets to the Musketeers, the safer he is. Good engagements there from the infantry on the French cavalry. Quite a lot of Cuirassier Hussari going down, second Cuirassier down. But the Musketeers are right in front of the Falconets, and Soldier really hasn't gone answer to Falconets at the moment. It's not like he's got meteor hammers out. He's now sent in the 5 meteor hammers, but newsflash, the fight is happening now, and you are losing your army at this point to the Falconets. But you know, Arquebusiers haven't really been focused down by Samwise, and with a double multiplier versus the colonial Musketeers from France, that infantry mass defending the Falconets is gone. Meteor hammers nearly out on the field. I don't think you'll need them in the end, but this has been a cleanup in Soldier's base. 37 villagers here for Soldier. Looking at Samwise's CDB count, he also has 37 CDB, so the eco is with Samwise at the moment. So maybe Soldier's thinking this is a great fight for him, I'll carry on fighting this, but when he sees a reinforcing batch of 3 plus 5 Cuirassiers, oh, that's tasty to see that. In they come. Out comes the Cav batch. The Cav batch are going to take off the Falconets. I think at this point they just commit to doing that. Meteor hammers with their very small meteor hammers, but colossal range distance. It's a quite funny animation there from the meteor hammers. They do just get torn to pieces by the French Cuirassier cavalry there. Explorer has been out of combat for a long time. Is Soldier training disciples behind this? He's got lots of woods stored up, thrown down a war academy now to re-mass, but maybe just trying to find resources on the top is hard to come by. Cav's coming for a nice raid. Has Soldier seen this? He hasn't seen it yet, but he's going to see it now. 5 meteors is a nice way to get back into the game there. Samwise, I don't think he's been playing into the Dragoon game at all. It's just these slow French Cuirassiers and Soldier gathering into the village nearby. These villagers going to get in. Oh, it's got 20 villagers underneath the village. They all can't. Not all of them can get to safety. So 3 are left high and dry in the open. But actually, 20 villagers from Soldier in a village, like just sit on the village at this point. That's such a big thing. And if Soldier, if Samwise had noticed that, he's coming back and he sees all these villagers, he's going to stay here. There's no point not sitting on it. Here come the reinforcing Dragoons, and did Samwise actually send the Dragoons as a shipment? Yes, he did. 5 Dragoons, card number 3 in the Fortress Age. Training Skirmgoon now. I think Sam has just got the military mass, he just can't, but Soldier can't come back from. I don't really know where those goons are going. Is he chasing these meteor hammers he's seen? Okay, he's now seen it from the CDB. From the Fog of War, he does see his meteor hammers, and it's just easy to pick off these units at the moment. And Soldier just can't afford to lose military units at this point. He needs every single unit he can to come back into this. But being pushed off the hunt to the north, Sam has got good vision on the map, doesn't really see where Soldier's gathering resources. A Soldier in base, only 1 villager on the food. Is there berries on this map? Were there berries? I don't think there were berries in the end, so food starved was Soldier, but he was forced to resign at this point. Samwise taking game number 1 there. So we're going to the timeline. I just want to see how that villager count for the game happened. I didn't really see too many villager kills, but at the end, the French player Sam essentially had the same villager population as Soldier, but the CDBs they gather 1.25 times faster, likely to have steel traps and place the mines over upgrades like not hunting eagles, the other one, professional hunters and pure bureaucracy. So I think the eco for France was much stronger than it was for China. In total, if you look at the all resources count, it should be in clear favour here of Samwise, and he just takes off. And once the pressure comes in, it's hard for China to come back. That's a really nicely played game from Sam, going in for the early aggression, forcing the huge reaction from Soldier. 700 wood into trained units of Old Han, 8 Chu Canoe, 9 Chang Pikemen. And they do trade off. I think Samwise had a really good fight once that reinforcing batch of 3 plus 5 Hussars came in. Once the Chang Pikemen mostly went down, saw Windows age, and Soldier was like, oh, I've got to follow at this point. But I think he was too slow to the third age. And by the time he aged up, mainly colonial units, backed by the 8 arquebusiers from the shipment, but falconets were already on the field and just trading off units. But once the cuirassiers came in, they were just mopping up, and then the French player had the ability to come across the map, restrict soldiers' eco, and just continuously train units. Receive shipments as well. Gotta remember, if you go back to the map, that train post for soldiers taken down. Samwise, that extra XP. And I think the XP as well will tell us a big part of this game, not the options. Post game. Go to the shipments in total. Yeah, even at the end, Sam basically ahead 2 shipments, and in the Fortress Age, that is about 2,000 worth of extra resources on the map sent for you. You don't have to train them. It just represents a big power spike. Sam always ahead in the XP, but it's just at the point where both players trade off their armies, these 2 extra shipments just really was so key to come back in there. But that's about it. We'll move on to game 2. I'm sure I have a game 2 folder somewhere nearby. The Eagle has landed. I do have my next game. Go away. Let's copy and paste from save game to downloads. Got myself a nice little system here. Dropping that in. Hopefully I won't have to restart the game. Minimize that. Let's go into the... Where is it? Yeah, it's load a recorded game. Has it dropped? It has dropped. So game number 2 from Soldier Samwise coming up right now. How's everyone doing today on this Sunday afternoon as well? Let's see. I'm gonna quick look through the chat before I crack on, because I want to see if the volume's alright, because this is the first time me casting on DE, so I want to see if the volumes felt fine. Just from listening to the game sounds and when I was playing or casting in, I think it went alright. It's all good, all good. Right, let's crack on. Game number 2, Soldier versus Samwise. Here it is. Mr. Brown Boy saying that Age of Empires 3 has a bigger pro scene than Wii Sports Golfing, and I really hope I would really hope so, regardless of that being a joke or the truth. AoE3 is a great game, but the whole franchise of Age of Empires is a great game. I don't think there's any bad game in the series, and my favourite game of the entire series, it has to be Age of Mythology. That's the one game I played as a kid, just continuously. I absolutely loved it. Didn't play much of Age of Empires 2, I only played it really recently. But no more procrastinating, we're in game number 2. The map is Arctic Territories. Soldier spawning into the northeastern map in the colour teal, playing as the German civilization. My apologies there, Samwise. Oh, he's playing Spain. Samwise is playing as Spain in the colour red, and he'd be spawning to the southwest of the map. Let's turn off the fog of war. Be awkward to continuously switch between the 2 players. Soldier coming across 50 wood treasure guarded by 1 polar bear. That's a nice crack shot, and if Soldier hasn't already macroed for the market, he's not going for a market. Oh, Soldier. Oh, that's lazy, that is. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of not using that 100 coin. Or, I mean, if Soldier really wants to, you could then start chopping for the train post, but I think it's too late for that. But I think just going for a single house as Germany is just possibly laziness, because I think once you get the market down, you could even market down, sell food, buy wood. I mean, you just need that 50 wood to gather, because that's how the selling the food gives you 175 coin. Buy the wood, 50 coin left over, and you just need to find the 50 wood. At this point, he could have had a market down and hunting dogs being researched and still have villager production. So maybe Soldier not feeling on his top form today. I would like to see the market from Germans, from Soldier next time. 2 setup wagons coming in those, shipment number 1. He is decent herding behind this. Yeah, he's actually working on his second moose hunt as well. So the reason why Soldier is already working on his moose hunt, if you're wondering, is that he just wants to keep it close. He's not going to try and push underneath the town centre this early. He's still got all these caribou to gather up first, but he just doesn't really want to see these moose wandering off down to about this portion of the map where it would be harder to defend at that point. 75 wood from Soldier. He's now got 125, so he's picked up 2 wood treasures, but can't really spend this in the first age. That will help him get a faster age trainer post in transition, but actually it's not as big of an effect as he would have really hoped from picking these big wood treasures in the first age. Soldier is trying to engage Juan Fernandez from Spain, but there's a doggo coming. That doggo is chasing down Soldier, and Soldier's going to have to run away. And the fact that he's going for this training post in the second age, or in the transition, he's got to be very careful of the HP on his Explorer. He's only got one of those, and Spain just more HP and an extra units to attack Soldier's Explorer when he's building that trading post. 18 vills in queue from Soldier. He's got to discontinue one of his villagers. Yes, he does indeed. Correctly ages up with 17 vills, but he ages up with an extra 100 food than he'd really needed to, and that just further points to the potential possibility of going for the market then age 1 and tightening up that age 1 micro. Let's check Samwise. How is Samwise doing? Samwise working on the Cherokee Rifleman. Is that Rifleman? No, it's a Scout. Scout's got trousers this game? Never know. These guys are really fashionable these days. That's a nice pair of shoes as well. Was it flip-flops? Flip-flops and socks. I'm going to guess he's going to go for flip-flop sock combo. Kaka. The Kiora Scouts picked up from Spain will be moving forward. Probably going to be placed right about here in the stealth position to see any of these Ulans moving across the map. That'll be a great place to pick that up. And that just... It's very nice from Spain here. He knows that he's playing as Germany. Germany get those Ulans on their colonial shipments. So just to see which direction those units crossing the map, very important. And actually, I've just realised what's going on here. Samwise is just stacking on top of this trading post. Soldier, he's trying to build a trading post on Samwise's home trading post slot, and it's just been denied. He's walking his Explorer back to the final slot, but there's a dog waiting for him there. Native Scout's not too far away. Samwise is going for a polar bear treasure for 50 wood, but may have missed a trick and just trying to deny this TP. But for whatever reason, though, this is a late trading post here from Soldier, and it's just the picking the wrong TP at the wrong time has hurt him in this case. Yeah. Right, let's have a look at Samwise. Sam's got 2 cards. He's about to send them both at this point. Oh, he's about to hit up right now. There you go. It's good. Governor age up. 3, 2, 1. There's the outpost. 200 coin. Coin woods. Standard Spanish fast fortress here from Sam. Does see the Explorer. Maybe he's a little late to react to that. That train post is going up, but he's going to try and pick off the... What's your Ville's Explorer name? So it turns out you can name your Explorer in this game. I might have to change my Explorers to some funny memes. The reason why this Explorer is called Watch Your Villagers is Soldier playing as the German civilization, getting his cavalry with every shipment. There you go, 2 islands out in the field, 37 hand attack, and if my maths are correct, and it usually is, it's 6 shots, or 6 swings to kill a villager with no great coats or British consulate bonus on them. And Usually Ulan's attack as a group of 2, so you got 3. You got 2 swings to get into the town centre. Otherwise, your village is going to go down on the 3rd swing. Explorer just going to try and trade off some HP from the Ulan to sacrifice himself. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. But the outpost is forward position on top of another hunt and tin mine. I was going to do a video on some underlying maths of the trading post, and one of the things I found out, not a massive thing, but the trading post line here is about 6%, 7% more efficient than any other standard map. The reason being, this loop here actually counts as additional length, but I think the TP travel just skips past it, so you're getting a little bit more bang for your buck with your trading post passing by. 75 experience per trading post pass at the moment for Spain. That's just a lot of XP on top of their Civ bonus of getting much more XP. And at the moment, what I've found so far with trading posts in this game is, on average, it's about 1.00 XP per second, regardless of length, but it is map dependent. So Arctic territories having a slightly better bang for your buck trading routes. Dakota, the old Mendocino, I think it is coded to be less. I have heard it was coded to about 10% less XP, and that does come into my observations of around about 0.88, 0.87 XP per second. Right, this game, there's 2 islands eventually coming across now. Where's that Rax? Rax has been thrown down at base for Samwise. Samwise is aging up this moment to the Fortress Age. Rodalero's nice unit to counter the Uhlans, and let's see what Soldier's up to. Soldier's aging up to the... Soldier's going to the Fortress Age at the same time. Wow, Soldier's going to the Fortress Age on just the 3 settler wagon shipments. No market as well. No market. Did get that TP in the end, but I've never seen German going to the Fortress Age on just 1 shipment before. He's stacking 1. This is a really aggressive build from Soldier. His eco is pretty lacking at this moment. It's hard to say what his effective military population is. Villager population, it's 8 settler wagons, so 16 plus 9 is, quick math, 25 villager effective population from Samwise. Samwise at 24 as well after sending that 5 bill shipment, so ecos are about equal, but Sam's in the next age. Spash gold coming in, another Rodalero, but currently housed. He won't complete that batch. That's an oopsie moment. 4 Hussars from the age up going to move in, but I saw those skirms popping out from Soldier. Soldier advancing up with the skirmisher, politician, the marksman, I believe. Hussars just being a bit annoying, trying to push those set wagons and villagers into the town centre, cause a bit of idling time. But Soldier's been up for a bit of while now. When's that first shipment coming? And it's about to pop, yeah. 3 war wagons and 3 Uhlans coming from the town centre. He's moving that military waypoint forward, but the Hussars, they get out just in time. 1 war wagon in queue. He's only got the population space for 1 more war wagon. He's got the resources for 2, maybe 3 if he had a market and bought 1 batch of food. But you can just hear him trying to make another one, but it's just not going in. 2 war wagon batch is just not what you need at the moment. A couple of Roleros coming in, but they're going to get picked off. Actually, yeah, he's going to go straight back. He's seen the skirms. He knows that this war wagon's out as well, and Samwise is just learning a bit of scouting information the hard way. That scout really, wow, that scout is really blended into the snow very well. It's quite pixelated from my point of view. It literally is. He is disappearing into the snow. Bereit. Is it bereit or bereit? I don't know. My German is not exquisite. I know no German because I'm English. Not often people from the UK learn a second language. We feel really bad about it when we go on holiday, but it's just not in a society to learn another language. I spend most of my time learning maths and physics. Big raid here. Uhlans on top of quite a lot of villagers forward, gathering from a caribou hunt. On the front side of this cliff, the Uhlans will try and get a snare in and try and pick up 1 or 2 vills, but here come the reinforcing batch of Uhlans. Not Uhlans, Rodaleros from Samwise. Not quite on top of the Uhlans yet, and they do get away. Skirm's next shipment here from Germany, and another house trying to be thrown down urgently from a settler wagon. I think he'll get this up, and he should be able to get another 3 war wagons, so it would be a 4 war wagon batch here. The 4th one's going to be queued. Yeah, there's a 4 war wagons, and the military unit population from Soldier looking to be pretty good at the moment. He's following up though with a 7 skirmisher shipment, so when 3 war wagon, 8 skirms, 7 skirm. I suppose all you've seen at the moment is Rodaleras and Hussars, and you're at that point sending more skirmishers allows you to win at the skirm war. He does have 2 mines still in base, so you could try for the Jaeger shipment instead. But I guess 7 skirms is just it's a safe shipment to get units on the board quickly at this point in time. Over to Samwise. Remember, he does have Spanish gold being sent. He's sent Spanish gold Spanish gold 1k wood 9 rods. He's now sending 8 Rodaleras behind this. So he's now sending the 9 Rodaleras. But he's got 2 Raxes, skirmisher production forward at the base. He's doing veteran Rodalero tech. I'm very glad to see he's remembering his veteran Rodaleros. Quite a lot of Spanish players are like, oh, got all his eco, 2 Raxes, these are spam rods, but they never upgrade them. Soldier putting pressure on that outpost. Rodaleros will have to spawn at home now for Spain, so he needs to really link up his army with the Rodaleros and reinforcing, because otherwise he's not fighting at full strength. A couple villagers forwards, tanking. No greatcoats just yet from Samwise, but he can't really pull his back from the hunt, because it'll just really mess with his eco. Close game at the moment, Soldier in the score lead, and actually that really early military playstyle of going to the Fortress Age mega early is somewhat countering Sam's standard Sammy FF into greedy Spanish gold 1k wood. I'm looking for a market from Soldier. I'm struggling to see a market from Soldier. A low eco play here from Soldier at this point, and as the game goes on, it's just gonna, I think Soldier's mass is just going to fall away in comparison to Spain. Spain with the veteran Rodaleros and veteran skirms, they just do, that combination does so well versus what Germany has, and you can kind of see that Germany is already falling behind in the skirmish account, and if you fall behind the skirmish account, when it's just going to be mega tough to come back. So you need those skirms of both the skirms and the Rodaleros. Nine Ulans coming in with the veteran Ulan tech. Good that he's remembering the veteran Ulan and charging him with the upgraded units. You can see he's trying to have a light skirmish with the skirmishers before engaging with his army, and he's just going to slam it in. But actually, the skirmishers being whittled down here is just favouring Samwise greatly, because here comes the veteran Rodaleros doing bonus damage versus both the Ulans and the war wagons. The vet Ulan tech has been completed. The extra cavalry are in, and they are charging forward at this moment in time. Is Samwise pulling the trigger? Is he going in? A couple of swings there, but the skirmishers, they've already been whittled down. There's not really enough to deal with the skirm and dog combination. Get on doggos, get on top of those German war wagons and turn them to shreds. Reinforcing batch of 5 lancers. This is interesting. Lance is going to focus on top of the skirmishers here, unless they get body block from the Ulans. But lancers are not what you need versus war wagon Ulans. And okay, the skirm mass from Spain is still very high, and they're just going to focus down his war wagons one by one. And yeah, this is not gone the greatest here for Soldier. He's now on the back foot. Is there a way for him to come back in? He does have 1 shipment, but it's only going to be 8 Ulans because he hasn't got the coin for a mercenary shipment. He's training another Ulan batch in the moment because he's mainly seen pure skirms. But Samwise next shipment is 8 Rodaleros. He's already sent his Lancer shipment. He's got another batch of hand infantry coming, and these are the units that's going to counter the big Ulan batch that Soldier has preparing in base. And I don't think Soldier, I think his opportunity to win the next fight is closing out very fast. The Rodaleros do come in when 2 Vils randomly joined your control group. Yeah, I have had issues with control groups, but it's not, I've managed to work around it. It's not too bad, because I use the F function keys, but I think some of the function keys can't be remapped. So every time I press F7 for find group 7, it just pauses the game. I'm like, no, that's not what I asked for. Alright, Rodolera's coming in, chasing down the Ullans, but actually they're being a bit overzealous here. They're just running straight into the skirmass, and the skirmishers from Samwise aren't trading off the skirmishers with Germany at the moment. Rodolera's are falling over quite quickly, but another big reinforcing batch of Rodolera's. There's 20 Rodolera's out on the map, 17, 15, 25 skirmishers from Spain. Let's look at German and see what position Soldier's in. He has only 11 skirmishes at the moment, and you can see the war wagon count and the Ulan counts just dwindling. And Sam can just sit here on top of Soldier's hunt and close the game out here for game number 2. I'm expecting the GG any moment now, really, and there it does come back. GG has been called. Sam taking this best of 5 friendly series 2-0 at the moment. Villager count, or should I say villager population. Soldier going for... yeah, this is Soldier's line, of course. 3 settler wagons on the age up, 17 vote age up, but no markets in age 1, even though you got those extra wood treasures. You need that market in age 1 to Germany, really. I don't think there's a logical reason to not go for the market, but then went just straight to the fortress age. No units, no stables, nothing really to say. Oh, he aged with the Philosopher Prince, I missed that. So Soldier aged up to the second stage with the 500 food politician instead of the 400 wood. Usually just send the 400 wood, get your military production down 2 houses, or maybe 2 houses and a second trading post if you want to be a very greedy playstyle. But Soldier jump into the fortress age. But at this point his eco is just not comparable to the Spanish gold 1k wood eco. Soldier never really had time to send wood at all at any point. Look at this wood total. Soldier is just a couple wood treasures in the first age, chopping like crazy during transition from 300 up to about 900, and just never sent a shipment, and having to chop about 1800 wood in total with no gang saw is just brutal. And you know that Germany, they need the population for the Uhlans. Their population, the military population isn't greatest for Germany. They always get house capped. That wood shipment is just so needed. Look at the Spanish wood shipment though. Big 700 wood shipment on the age up to the scout as card number 2. 1k wood after Spanish gold, and Sam's got all the wood he needs the entire game, and he just focuses on that military production. We go into military unit population. Soldier taking that early lead, but never really pushes the agenda, just because he just... A couple of Roleros is all that was needed from Spain just to hold back Soldier, and then once the fight happens, just the Roleros cutting through, Soldier missing his window. Right, let's move on to game number 3. Let me check if game number 3 has been dropped to me. Game number 3 has been dropped to me. Let's download that and move that into my download file. Pin current folder to quick access. Nice, nice, nice. Cut and paste. Minimize that. Samwise currently 2-0 up. Let's go into game number 3, recorded games 15-22. Yep, so that was the next game. Let me just check anything coming up on Discord that I need to know about. Get out there. No, go away. No, I'm all good. Let's carry on then. Oh, I see both Soldier and Samwise in the chat. That's interesting time to see both players in the chat. So it's only 2-0 at the moment. We'll have to go into game number 3 there. Welcome back, guys. We're in game number 3. The map, I'm guessing the map is Central Plains. Let's take off Fog of Water Sea, and it is Central Plains indeed. The new version of the EP Classic High Plains map. We see Soldier playing as the Portuguese civilization spawning into the southwest of the map. Portuguese villagers now correctly costing 100 food, but they still maintain their 5% hunting and a berry gathering upgrade just to help the eco tick along as they spam villagers from 2 town centres in the second age. Samwise playing as the... Oh, Samwise is playing as Inca. New Civ from Samwise. I've seen a lot of Sweden action, but Samwise is actually going to play as Inca. And I have to say, my Inca knowledge is very, very low tier, but I'm going to focus on Samwise's gameplay for this game just to learn a trick or two to see what Samwise is up to. First thing I'm noticing is Samwise, 6 villagers on coin. Why has he got villagers on coin here? I wish I could see like a build panel. Ooh, not going to early market. I think houses just cost wood. Capture houses. Is this an early trading post play here from Samwise? Do the trading post got coin? Because the only other civ who gathers coin in the first stage like this is Dutch. Their villagers costing coin. Samwise having a llama. Honestly, that llama could do a bit of scouting actually. You know you're playing versus Portuguese. Portuguese one explorer. They're not going to find that llama anytime soon. And that llama could be just scouting, just even the back line, just to check if there's any hunt in this position. But he will see those trees. And actually, that llama scouting could find this next batch of hunt. Which, okay, he now sees with the 2 llamas. But stopping mine collection at 180. Oh, I know. The big button from the Cancer House. Ah. Come on, guys, you chuck that in the chat for me to see. I've just realised, here's the big button, Queen's Festival. 4 villagers, big button in Age 1 from Inca. That is a very big balance change there. And yeah, 4 villagers, it's such a big power play. And what is also nice about that treasure, or that big button tech, it costs 180 food, 180 wood, 180 coin. So if you find yourself a wood treasure, you go, yep, I got a wood treasure here, I don't need to chop as much wood. If you find yourself a coin treasure, you go, yep, got a coin treasure here. I don't have to mine as much coin. And so you don't really need a specific treasure, but it just all helps to get that big button out earlier. And now Samwise, with that extra 4 villagers, deciding to send 300 wood here as his first card, instead of the 2 infinite llamas, which I've seen people send in this position. Back to the game though, Soldier has literally pinned down the Incan Spearman, or the Incan Explorer. You would think at this point the Incan Spearman can just turn around and attack the Portuguese Explorer, because a melee, an Explorer which is a melee type of unit, usually found with the War Chief and quite a few of the Asian ones. Yeah, the monks and the Chinese monk and the elephant monks will probably be better in combat, but you can see he's got so low HP at the moment. He just has to run to the town centre. He's going to run back. Villager's going to garrison in. Maybe a bit early just to try and get some damage on the Explorer. Now could put a few villagers just to try and push the Soldier back, but honestly, could actually... Soldier could even... No, Soldier wants to get out of there. He doesn't want to lose that Explorer. He wants that Explorer for trading post playstyles. And let's see if Soldier is sending ATP. There's one going down, and it is the advanced training post. 1 villager coming up to build it. Explorer building the second. That villager, once it gets to 120, could then build or just lay the foundation for a training post down here. Actually, I'd like to see a 3rd villager, or a 2nd villager from Soldier come out onto the map. He wants to secure as many as possible and try and not let Inca get onto that line at all. Right, Inca is looking to be on the top side of the map, coming across 65 food treasure. It's a nice treasure, but I think Samwise is just going straight to this end trading post. Oh, he's actually... Oh my god, what just happened there? One fell swoop of the spear and 2 monkeys die. He actually picks up a food treasure when he had less than like 60, 70 HP, and he's still in the first age, so I believe that was one of the abilities, and picks up that treasure. But if the Explorer catches Incan Spearman building a train post, then it is going to be good night to Mr. Viratkocha. ATP coming down. Now sending 700 wood, so ATP 700 wood, trying to get that training post line full control. Town centre wagon, the covered wagon, moving forward onto Samwise's side of the map, but also basically covering this training post which he hasn't built yet. Explorer's going to move over onto the Incan. Oh, Incan's not building it. Why is he not building it? Oh, he's missed his window, has he? Has Samwise missed the window? Nope, he just didn't have enough wood for it. And I think he's just here basically just to try and off-put Sam, because you can see he's just throwing down more and more of these catcher houses. He hasn't really got much of an intention of doing... Has he just sent a trading post wagon? Oh, one town centre and one build. Oh, okay, that's fine. So Samwise didn't want to go for the trading post here. I think going for an extra trading post and just annoying the Portuguese TP line dominance instead of extra catching houses would have been the better play. But the war hut's moving forward. There's a town centre wagon here somewhere, and where's that town centre wagon going to be placed? And he's going to drop it right underneath Soldier's town centre. Soldier could call Minutemen? Question mark, but I don't think Minutemen, they have very, very low siege. I don't think the Minutemen could rip down a war hut. War hut? Wait, where's... Hold up. Sorry. The Hunkers sent one town centre Travois, one builder Travois, and increased the build limit. Am I missing something here? That's an age-up Travois, not a shipment. He didn't send it, Harry. Thank you. So his first card was the Chincha Bruin, and then he's going for the 5-plumed Spearman. So it's just age-upped with the... probably with the Shaman, actually. If I had the old UI, I'd open up text completed just to check that, but I saw 2 wagons, and I thought I was Town Centre and War Hut, but it's not the case. Portuguese Explorer managing to get that TP up, and also taking down Samwise's Explorer as well. I think losing the Explorer here was a bit of a blunder here from Samwise. Need not have happened there from Samwise. Now Samwise is... the Soldier is building training post number 5. The stagecoach line is in. Soldier has about an extra 19 vils eco. It's mega, this line. It's really, really good. Right. Bowman coming out, Plume Spearman sieging down, but 25 ranged attack actually should pick up a couple of these units, and the fact that Samwise is splitting up his forces on different trading posts is actually going to cost him a couple units here. He's going to lose his Plume Spearman. He might go into cover mode, but it's actually a lot to lose. Here come the Minutemen. Minutemen is going to focus down these Incan Kyominkers. Are they siege units? They're not given the siege unit tag, but they have 44 siege damage. Luckily for Sam, but they're not classed as siege units because the Minutemen would have absolutely ripped through them and just been such a bad trade there for Samwise. Soldiers trading posts still working on a couple of these Plume Spearmen. A bit of micro here. It looked like this Plume Spearman was into cover mode, but that trading post has gone into fire somewhere else. Oh, it's just Samwise pulling his Spearman back to move out of target range, and Soldier's trading post automatically going to the next one. But yeah, could have picked off that Spearman there and actually may have bought himself enough time to pick off both of them. Good micro there from Samwise to keep that extra plumed Spearman alive. But that initial push of infantry has only picked off one trading post, and it's not like Soldier is a lack of any woods and resources coming in from the trading post. He's actually got all his crates onto food at this point. I'd like to see a little bit more wood. Chimmy Runners and Plumed Spearmen working on another trading post at the moment. A couple Plumed Spearmen picking off the 1 HP Minutemen. Incan Explorer now moving on to another trading post, but the trading post here with a 25 range damage onto Spearmen with only melee resist is just such a nice pick up here for Sam. But these guys are going to go into cover mode, but there's a couple of Hussars, and yes, Spearmen counter Hussars when you have this many cavalry on top of a single unit. It's just such a good trade to pick off there and then. Action all over the park. Chimmy Runners running into Soldier's base. Soldier trying to get the snare on the Chimmy Runners, but I think they're immune to the snare mechanic. So it's an interesting mechanic there for the Chimmy Runners. Yeah, they're just going to run away. Doesn't really want to stand underneath these double war huts. They do have the multiplier for cavalry here. Soldier stacking a shipment at the moment. He's sent himself 700 woods, 8 bowmen, 700 coin is now on the floor somewhere. Is it? Has he already gathered up the coin? He has sent it. Oh, yeah, he sent it and gathered it because he's spammed out all his Hussars. We've got 2 shipments now. First shipment coming in is 6 Musketeers. I think he's decided he can't really jump age at the moment. He needs some more military, and that's where the Musketeers come from. Lucas, is this a fun show match without the money? It is just a fun show match, but if you want to put some money in, I'm sure you can donate to the victor. I'm sure they'll be very happy to get a nice extra bonus there from their good friend Lucas. Tambo Travois coming out, 3 of them. Is this the 3 TP shipment from Samwise? This is a big button. I don't actually know. I didn't think I saw a Tambo shipment from Samwise's deck. But that fight though, Chibi Runner Plumed Spearman just cutting through the Hussar Crossbowman and actually now gets himself onto the map. And Soldier is just losing control of the line at the moment. He's only got 1 TP, and that was the trading post that Samwise could have stolen himself. And actually, if these trading posts go up, it's going to be tough for Soldier to get back. It was the 3 Tambo Travois wagon shipment, so yes, he has sent the shipment to get that. Tambo is costing 250 wood instead of 200 for a TP, but it is a defensive ATP of extra HP and ranged attack available. Plume Spearman, 100 food, 20 wood per unit. Chimmy Runners, 65 food, 35. But the reason why Samwise can spam all these Spearmen is because he got so many catcher houses with the catcher upgrades. Catcher Brewing, I believe it's called, or Chincha Brewing. Each of those houses provide 1 food per second, and that is like a Japanese shrine on steroids, that is. Such a strong passive eco building. Incas and Swedes having strong ecos so far in this meta at the moment, and Samwise can just outproduce Soldier at the moment. Soldier does have some strong musketeers in comparison. Not seen any bowmen out from Samwise, but here comes a batch of 10 bowmen from the Warheart. That's a great time and a great position as well. Would do well to split fire on those bowmen and micrate a little bit. Warhearts should focus onto the Hussars. Just imagine if this was a stronghold and could garrison units away from the Hussars on the other side, would be quite nice. But in the end, the fight's gone quite well for Soldier. But underneath 2 Warhearts now losing that second town centre. I don't think Soldier's eco can keep up with Samwise's 3 TP, Catcher House, Incan shenanigans. What's going on here? No community plaza here, so deciding to not go for any dances at all. A villager on hunting is gathering at 0.84 food per second, but a house is gathering more than a villager. LOL! Soldier trying to build a TP with a villager. I suppose he needs to get back on the line somewhere, and his explorer is down in the ditches in between the 2 Warhearts. But that villager's going down, and he's just not going to get back on that line. And Samwise is just essentially sitting on the line, controlling the map, controlling the resources, and I think he's going to try and close the game out from this position. The scores actually suggest it is still equal. Is Soldier jumping to the next stage? That might be his only way out of this. Soldier, he does have 600 coin. Gathering most of it now, about 500 remaining. Not training the units, he is housed, but it looks like Samwise is pushing more onto the Portuguese eco. Quite a few bowmen out now, and not really many units here from Samwise to counter the bowmen. I guess the jungle bowmen in en masse, shall we say, will trade well versus the crossbows. 16 range. It's similar range, similar attack. Crossbows slightly more HP, but I think the poison damage from the jungle bowman in a crossbow fire actually would work really well here. Probably the biggest difference between crossbows and jungle bowmen is that jungle bowmen are much better at heavy infantry versus the crossbowmen, but I don't see Soldier making any more musketeers at this point. He's going bowman, hussars. I think that's the competition he's needed the entire game. Bowman just eats musketeers for breakfast as if they're not even there. Yeah, the bowmen here having multipliers similar to, well, not the same multipliers as the Mace Holton and Seaton bow, but that's a similar kind of anti-heavy infantry vibe as those other War Chief civilizations. 700 food now being sent by Soldier, but it's a little awkward time to send 700 food. You only have 1 town centre to pump villagers from. You are obviously training units behind this, but it's a low impact shipment, as you'd say, not as great value as the other shipments, like even 600 coin that he had just sent before. Pushing out now with Hussars, Crossbowmen. Sam's just going to kite back to his plumed Spearman. Oh my god, for some reason, when I first saw his unit, I just thought it said plumbed, and now I can't get the plumbed out of my head. Or just plum spearmen, that'd be quite funny, but bowmen focusing down the Hussars, these are the damage dealers. But actually, yeah, on the other side, should I say, Soldiers trying to focus down the Spearmen so his Hussars can engage Jungle Bowman, but the poison damage is racking up on the Hussars. You know, Jungle Bowman, not exactly bad anti-cavalry units in that respect due to the poison damage and how they rack up. And Soldier just didn't have enough mass to break this infantry mass here from Inca. And Sam, in the end, still had control of that TP line. So Samwise taking his friendly best of 5 series from Soldier. 3-0, looks like. So Incan sends in the 4-ville big button. Aging up with 2 construction wagons. They drop double war hut underneath Soldier's town centre. So Soldier's thinking, where's a nice safe spot for me to drop down my town centre, and along come 2 war huts, but with a decent eco behind it. It's bringing me vibes of EP9, or no, EP8 Aztec, shall I say, with the 2 war hut shaman option. But it looks like Inca, they have the eco behind it to fund the continuous spam of units, especially if you go for a lot of cancer houses. The 4-ville early big buttons are a very strong option. And in the end, just these plumed Spearmen and Jungle Bowman, just a strong combination together. We did see a couple of Chimu runners here and there, but they didn't actually form a big part of the military block what Samwise was really going for. And in the end, it's hard to say actually what his shipment progression was. I want to say it was the Chincha Bruin into 5 plumed Spearmen, 3 Tanbo Travois did come at a later point into 6 Jungle Bowman. Didn't send the Huanca support for the TC wagon, which I thought he'd sent earlier, but it's the HF wagon instead. You just see from Soldier's point of view, once he lost the TP line, he was like, right, I need to stay in H2 just to try and claw it back. But once you lose that grip and it goes into the other person, it just, the more you lose, the more the opponent gains, and it's just a double swing effect of resources. It was just too much for Soldiers to come back from, and that's going to be the end of that series there.